Good evening, everyone out there. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath. My name's Kenan, the producer. Tonight, the title is Homeless, which I've got a thought to share on that. But before we go there, for anyone who's out there joining us, whichever platform, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, be sure to say something in the chat so I know you're here. If you don't say something, I have no way of knowing you're here. So say something, and we'll get to everybody in order for readings this evening. Now, the first time, of course, there's no charge. Going forward after that, it's $10 per card, or I highly recommend paying $100 and covering the entire month for readings. That's 3 shows per week, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. Now, one great quality of self to develop is to create enough space within to house all of our aspects. And that's good and bad alike, or really it's just these various pieces of ourselves that work together. Now, keeping an appropriate balance going between these aspects of self is an ongoing process. Just remember, we all have access to the infinite abundance that the universe has for us. So thanks for listening to me. Enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome, Marilyn, Lindsay, Jeff, Abby and Marilyn, Laura, Teresa. Great to have you here. Great blessings to you. And for all those that are watching, say something. Just put hi in the chat. We'll know that you're here. Otherwise, I won't know that you're here. But I light this incense every show with a specific purpose. And this incense tonight is dealing with blessing you with the acknowledgement of your right for more acceptance, for more love, especially of yourself. And anywhere where you have abandoned, left homeless, any part of yourself, are you welcoming that back home? Welcome that back home. I'll give you an example. Many of you read my book, Trestle Creek Things the Dead Fear. I was raised in a haunted house, and I adapted ways in order to survive. And in order to do that, I had to squelch a lot of actually who I was in order to survive. Now, was that bad or wrong? No. It was what was developed in order to survive that particular situation. But then as you get older, I've told you all, they used to call me the Crisco kid, because I would be in the middle of a conversation and I would just disappear. And they would go, where did Chris go? And I would get overloaded. I would get angry, but I didn't want to explode. And many times I would explode. And then people go, ooh, he's bad news. But it was just trying to cap all of this energy that I had suppressed. And I found it was much more better. It was way better for me to let it go. But I was afraid to let it go because I didn't know how long it was going to last, how long I was going to cry, how long I was going to be angry, how long I was going to be frustrated. Because what if it just never ended? But it does end. It absolutely does end. This is accepting yourself. And so I'm going to pull up the group card right now. As soon as Kenan gets back. But the group card is called Root Girl. Yeah, if you could pull up the group card, that'd be awesome. Yeah, the group card is called Root Girl. And it's the disowned self. But it's also the number 46, which is the 10 card, the 1 card. It's a new beginning. So it's welcoming back all of these aspects of yourself, like Kenan said in the very beginning. The one is a new beginning. So in any way, shape, or form, there's a new beginning for all of us. And sometimes we can't even see how good that's going to be because we're so afraid of sometimes letting these emotions come up. But it's welcoming that homeless aspect that you may have squelched, not being bad or wrong about it, but at the time you needed to develop certain behaviors, certain belief systems. But now, are you willing to safely and easily let them go? That's the point of this. So anywhere where you've judged this quality as ugly, are you willing to turn that around? And because it's just a perception. It's absolutely a perception. And can you see this beauty in this unmet need? And to know that you're safe, you're safe, you're safe, you're safe to do that. So now it is a process. And that's so much of the point of the show, is there were things that I had squelched that I didn't even know that I had squelched. So anywhere that may be the case, are you willing to just release, clear, destroy, and uncreate, and be able to look at that homeless aspect of yourself in the eye? You know, many times if we see homeless people, we just kind of avoid eye contact. Well, it's the same thing as these aspects of ourself that we believed no longer served us in the past, or if we did manifest that behavior or belief system, it may cost us our lives. The brain doesn't do time, so what happened to us 30 years ago can be like what's happening to us right now. So that's the whole point of this show, is to send this incredibly loving energy and presence to help you let go of what no longer serves you, and to welcome every aspect of yourself back home. All right, we've got Marilyn, Lindsay, Jeff, Abby, Marilyn, Laura, Teresa, and Tiffany. Thank you so much for being here. And again, I'm going to remind you, if you are watching the show, please say something in the chat. Otherwise, we actually don't know that you're here or that you're watching. So, Marilyn, my dear, this goes right along with you and I have been texting today with this change. So you have in your mind, you're invited to this party, Marilyn, and you have in mind that it's, I don't know, somewhere you think you heard it was a costume party. And so you come down, I don't know, dressed as Snow White. And Larry goes, why are you dressed like that? This is a formal dinner party. And you're like, oh my God, you have to go change. Well, you can get all upset. You can get anxious about maybe being late, or now not knowing what to wear, or what do I, all of these, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Or you could just go, oh, and laugh and go, I wonder how I thought it was a costume party. So, and just going to change, right? This is the change that you're becoming more and more aware of. And I've told you how proud I was of you and how far you've come. And I know if any of us have been on the show like Abby and Marilyn for a year, like Marilyn Pitts has been on, you've seen the change in all of us. But Marilyn has made these big changes, but wait, there's more. there's more change coming, but it's a welcoming change. You're ready for it. And anywhere, Marilyn, where you have in the past had to create or belief system around abandonment or lack of love, or how love had to be in a certain way, anywhere where love had to be abusive or dismissive or whatever, I send you that energy to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate that belief system and create more of this welcomingness, this welcomeness into your life, and absolutely feeling this love, feeling the love that we have for you, that we have for each other, and viewing a bigger picture of life, like understanding that life is not as maybe we thought it used to be or had to be or was. This is a whole new aspect of being. And you're fine with the change. It might be a little inconvenient, it might be a little uncomfortable. And I'm talking to every one of you here now, right? Not just Marilyn. This change can be a little bit inundating. But change, guaranteed, change is the constant of life. Okay. All right, my dear Lindsay. Gosh, I wonder what this means, Lindsay. Creativity. So I've studied, I have a degree in psychology. And so this is a pen. Now, if you're from South America or Mexico, you go, that's not a pen, that's a pluma. But if you're from China, it's a beatsit. So who's right? They're all right. It's just the language, right, as to how you're raised. Pen, beatsit, pluma, whatever it is. It's tomato, potato, potato, right? It's called the same thing, but in a different way. And it's honoring your way of seeing things. Being free of the judgment of others because you're calling it a pen, but they call it a beatsit in Chinese. So are you wrong in calling it a pen? No. Are they right calling it a beatsit? Well, yeah. It's free of judgment around your art. Anywhere where you have told yourself that your art is not meeting your expectations, are you willing to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate that now? Because you look great with both ears. You don't need to go mad or cut off an ear. But this is really coming to understanding and loving your art. So I've talked a little bit about this before. the masters in India, the teachers, the gurus, the Khenpos, the Rinpoches, they have only the highest energetic people preparing their food, because they understand that in preparing the food, the energy goes into the food and then they eat the food. So the importance of loving your art, loving the colors, loving the brush stroke, loving whatever it is, loving whatever it is that you're doing. You know, if there are writers in here, like Tiffany, Teresa, it's loving your art. Whether, you know, Teresa has some amazing psychic abilities herself. Marilyn and Abby, like Marilyn, when you get up to talk, it's absolutely loving how you come across to people, loving your words. This is all part of this creativity process because it changes people. It absolutely changes people. So this is release, clearing, destroying, and uncreate, Lindsay, for you, any self-deprecation in any way, shape, or form. So you've been to an art gallery. I'm laughing, Lindsay, because you've definitely been to an art gallery. And you notice how some artworks, there's a few people gathered around, other people simply walk by it. Do your art for you. Do your writing for you, for those that are writers. Do your speaking for you, not for anyone else. There'll be those that walk by it that won't pay attention, that don't see it, but it changes those that do see it, that do hear it, that do feel it. Okay? All right, Jeff, here we go. Thanks for being here. Ace of Crystals. Brilliance. Anywhere, Jeff, that you have bequeathed intelligence, or people, parents, family, being more intelligent than you? Are you willing to release, clear, destroy, uncreate that? And releasing that homeless aspect of any judgment on having done stupid things or being called stupid. So everyone knows what a cult is. Everyone has their own perception of a cult. They liken it to a group of people where cognitive dissonance sets in. So maybe some of you can look up cognitive dissonance to understand that, but I'll give you an illustration. I was watching a Netflix show on this group of back in the early 1900s. Group of people, they lived in Chicago. The end of the world was coming. So they all moved to Mount Shasta in California. And then of course, the end of the world didn't come. And so they were like, woo, yeah, our prayers worked. The end of the world didn't come because our prayers worked. That's cognitive dissonance. It's not seeing the truth. It's sometimes, and I'm this is kind of a revelation for me, myself, is I realized my family was a cult. Families can be cults. A small group of people believe a certain way. Children are taught that maybe they're not intelligent or not gifted, or and you know, Dr. Tiffany can verify this too. You know, she and I worked together for many years. There's different forms of intelligence. And so, Jeff, a mantra is, I am smart. I am smart. Things work out for me. I am smart. And anywhere where there's then this belief system where we're not meant to surpass our parents, sorry, we are meant to surpass our parents. We are meant to surpass that family. We are meant to surpass our ancestors. In my book, I quote a poet, I believe it's Rumi, who said our children are like arrows that are fired from the bow and they fly far, far past our vision of sight. This is you acknowledging you've flown far, far past any restrictions from your parents in any way, shape, or form. This is acknowledging your brilliance. And then, just like a piece of art, so I'm going to go back to Lindsay's reading, just like a piece of art, these people will come out of nowhere because they're going to see this light in you. Every one of you is a living piece of art. Every one of you is an incredible living piece of art. Okay, here we go. Abby and Marilyn. Okay, so Abby. I don't know if you've ever gone up in like the Empire State Building or the Seattle Space Needle or any really tall building. You can focus on how high you are and be scared out of your wits. Or you can look at the view. Or you can do both. Be a little bit scared, still look at the view. So you and Marilyn, let's say, go up into this really high building, and you're facing a little bit over this way, and Marilyn's facing over this way. She's seeing something completely different from her point of view, but it's still a higher perspective. And you can't explain to people on the ground, you can't yell down and go, hey, no. You see that building 50 miles away? No, they can't. So anywhere where you've dealt with people that don't have the ticket to go to the 80th, 100th, 200th floor, and you're trying to describe to them the scene of your viewpoint, are you willing to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate that? Because they don't have the concept of even what an elevator is. So, yeah, and Tiffany, I love what you said here. You said evolution happens one generation to another. We should absolutely surpass our parents. Absolutely. So this is, Abby, this is your surpassing your parents and honoring your vision. And so you can tell people, oh my God, this vision up here is so beautiful, and invite them up, but you can't make them to come up, and you can't go down to try to explain to them what it is you saw. This is letting go of where you're moving into is you're letting go of the bridle and the reins that are like on the horse, and you're becoming more of riding the horse with no bridle, no reins, just like the Native American Indians did, where they can just direct them with their knees or their body weight. They become like one with the horse. It's like you becoming one with spirit, and stop questioning it and stop comparing it to Marilyn's view. You have this particular view that is important for you. This is the preserver card. This is this oh, your pregnancy is coming right along. It's coming really good, because you see this pregnant girl here. You can't hurry it. You can't worry that there's something wrong with the baby. You're just moving right along, but you're giving birth to more and more ahas. Okay. All right, my dear Marilyn. Reward. So one of the things, Marilyn, you're really good at this is a little bit, I'll do my best to explain it. So it's a little bit like what I do on the show, or when I give a private reading. It's what Ken and I are really good at, is, okay, so for those of you that have done real estate, or any of you that have bought a house, you kind of tell the realtor what it is you want, how many bedrooms, blah, 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 kind of the location, and then they begin to show you these houses, and you find a house. This may take a few days to integrate for you, Marilyn, but you're a bit of a realtor. You tune in, you're able to tune into what people really want in their lives, and you have a property list of, let's say, 10 homes. And we'll call those 10 homes 10 different realities. And they're telling you what type of reality that they want, or you're picking up. Maybe they can't verbalize it. They can't verbalize what it is they really want. But you can go through your list and imbue them with that reality of what they actually want, even though they didn't even know that they wanted it. Oh my God, I didn't even know I wanted a dining room nook. Oh my God, I didn't even know I wanted a hidden room, with a sliding door, that people wouldn't even know that they were there. These are things that, this is the reward card. So one of your rewards is to energetically reward people with what it is that they actually want. But you have a way of altering reality. And because you have altered your reality in your life so greatly. So I want to take a look at Marilyn Pitts, Lindsay, Jeff, Abby, Marilyn, Laura, Teresa, Tiffany, Kenan. All of you have altered your reality. Now think of that as a superpower. So thank you for being here, Marilyn. Otherwise, this wouldn't have come up. Think of this as a superpower, and you're developing that. You're developing that even more. Okay. If you have any questions, call me. All right, my dear Laura, thanks for being here. Acta, darling, acta. So, Laura, anywhere in the past that you were not able to get what it is you wanted, no matter what it is you did? Okay. You're changing your tribe. And you're moving away from the withholding tribe. I'm not just talking about physical individuals. I'm talking about spiritual belief systems, spiritual beings that are withholding, and you're moving over from the withholding tribe to the giving tribe. This is then allowing, so anywhere where you have been withheld from, with dealing with love, money, acceptance, are you willing to release, clear, and destroy and uncreate that reality? And Marilyn, I'm going to have you send a little bit of good juju here as well. And Teresa, is this reality, Laura, that are you willing to release all withholding from yourself? Because that's how you were taught. That was the cult you came from. It was the withholding tribe. No. This is where you become the actor. Like you're a chameleon. You absolutely have the power to get what it is you want, to get whatever role you want. But you're done playing the chorus line. Like you're ready to step up as a main character. And you're doing it. Oh, Dottie came on, Kenan, and JC, and Jared. So, hope that helped, Laura. Thank you. Okay, Teresa, here we go. I'm glad you figured out how to come on, Dottie. Everybody welcome Dottie. Okay. So Teresa, you know, when I, years and years and years ago, when I kind of started on this journey or continued on it, one of the things that really helped were books by Richard Bach, B-A-C-H. Because it helped me embrace some of these concepts, like Think and Grow Rich. Even The Secret kind of introduced me to The Fringe, the outer walls, I should say. But one of your gifts is to relate it's relating to the child in people, Teresa. It's like planting this little tiny seed and not checking on it every day, but allowing that seed to take the form that it was naturally meant to take. And there's something really powerful about these short stories. Never underestimate small beginnings. Nothing is small. Anything that you do is very, very important. But you have an ability to if you've been to a daycare, right, they have these I don't want to call them, they're like playrooms with walls the kids can't climb over, and you can break down the walls for people or pick them up and lift them over the obstacle. But it's not just doing it for them, it's you have an ability to actually give them the inner knowledge that they need in order to do it for themselves. But your writing is important. It's what you write that is between the letters. It is the space between the words that is so important. Like you could write literally boopity boppity blah 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 dingity dongity blah. People go, what is that? Well, if you're reading just the words, you're not going to get the meaning. But it's the meaning between the words, the energy between the words. So it's like Lindsay said earlier, it's the energy of the art that draws people to it. That's what Lindsay said. That's so true. And people will get it. They'll want to left brain it. They'll want to try to figure it out, but they won't get it. They don't get it. They don't see it. So the same thing, with Tiffany. It's how to write. Because you're a doctor, how to write academically. But why your writing is so important. So Teresa reaches the child in people. Tiffany, you have all of these amazing letters behind your name. So your academic writing, your academic teaching, your academic presence is just as needed within the higher intelligence community, because many of them, their children are hiding behind higher learning. Thinking, how some people think that money will save them, or some people think that higher education will save them. This is your ability, Tiffany, to really reach to the heart. Okay? because your card, Tiffany, is love. And people feel the love behind the academia. So it is the love that you carry of your daughter and from your daughter. These people that have passed on, they're around us. They're here. They're absolutely right here. They're simply in a different frequency. Oh my God, you guys hear that music? You don't? Oh, well, I will tell you right now, there's at least 1,000 different waves from radio stations that are going through this room right now. I'm just simply not tuned into it. But I can get a radio and tune into it. I can tune into it on my phone. This is your ability, Tiffany, and yours. I'm kind of reading you and Teresa together because you're right here. You're different operating systems, but you have the ability to tune into these frequencies, and that's going to be happening more. So be free of left braining it or trying to explain it. Okay. All right, Jared, Kat, JC, Dottie, and Laurel. So anywhere, Jared, that you did not turn out and meet other people's expectations, are you willing to completely release buying any Kleenex around that? Or anywhere you're getting better at this, but you've still got some Klingons from family, cult. We've all come from, I think, in some aspect or another, families that were cultish, some more than others. It's not your job to make other people feel better about the mistakes that they made. You're not here. You're not here to feed the homelessness in other people. So if you weren't here at the beginning of the show, I'm just going to go over this again. Is anywhere where you have abandoned any part of yourself, are you willing to welcome that home? So anywhere where anyone else has abandoned part of themselves and are living into a poor me, are you willing to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate, giving them any energy, which then feeds their kind of sorrow? It's literally understanding this is a bigger picture, Jared. Much bigger picture. They can either get it this time around or next time around, either in this life or the next life. Okay. Also, any sadness that's coming up, just allow it to come up. It's okay. And so I'm going to kind of move into Kat's reading here. With that, it's acknowledging the sadness. It's kind of acknowledging this homelessness, this feeling, because it's been a part of us. But anywhere where you've repressed who you are in order to survive, you had to do that at the time in order to survive, that you had to repress yourself or an aspect of yourself. But allowing the sorrow to come up, that happened, and then letting it go. So the other day I was working with a client. I'm like, I don't understand this. Why are there horses around you? And why? Because this woman's leg had been hurting for weeks. I go, what's the deal with horses? Like, and putting a horse down because it stepped in a gopher hole, and she lost it. She started to bawl. Her family was, we'll call it a cult. It was very restrictive, and she would escape to her horses, and she got to see this colt being born, and she would go out every day, and she would just lay with the colt. When the colt got bigger, she would just go lay on the horse, and she goes, it would just make me feel better. And then she would do the same with the colt's mother. Well, then when she was about 7 or 8 years old, the mother horse stepped in a hole and broke her leg, and they had to put the horse down. And so she released, cleared, destroyed it, uncreated that about any type of injury and needing to be put down. Her leg pain went away. So this is allowing this to come up. All right, Kat. And we've got JC, Dottie, and Laurel. Now, that's who I have right now left on the show. We've got Kat, JC, Dottie, and Laurel. If there's anyone else we missed, say hello in the chat again, either on Facebook or YouTube, so we know you're here. Okay, Kat. Dissipation of structure. It needs to happen, Kat. It needs to happen. But it's happening for a reason. We've talked about this, the Tower card, where things seem like falling apart, not working out at all the way you thought it was going to. That's all dissipating of structure. But it's happening in order to create something new. When I left my church, when I left the relationships, when I left the belief systems, the clubs I belonged to, it all was necessary in order to grow. Because there's something bigger happening here. I'm gonna, yeah, okay, so Kat, this card's for you as well. So this is along with Laurel and JC. Here we go. So this is the dissipation of structure. This is the falling apart of the way we thought life should be or could be or would be, and letting go of that in order for the Fool card to come in, which is brand new beginnings. You for instance, when you think of new beginnings, Kat, and you think about your children, you couldn't imagine how brilliant or how beautiful they are now when you first found out you were pregnant. There's no way, right? Giving birth to a child is a major dissipation of structure to certain parts of your body, if you know what I'm saying. But it's a whole new beginning. You couldn't even imagine what it was like to be a mother until you actually became a mother. That's the feeling of this. Okay, that's the feeling of this. So it's when you're going through this dissipation of structure, remember your Lamaze method of natural birth, right? You'll get through it, but it's creating something brand new for you. Okay, all right, JC. Okay, JC. You are the star. Who, me? Yeah, you. Let me nod to the impediment of true minds. Love is not love which alters when alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Love is an ever-fixed mark which looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark. A bark is a wanderer, a musician, a free spirit. And you can look this up. I believe that's the Desiderata. I believe it's the poem Desiderata. I had it on my bedroom wall as a teenager. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. So anywhere, JC, where there have been impediments imposed upon you, are you willing to just release, clear, destroy, and uncreate those? It's like somebody giving you a pair of really ugly shoes. Thinking you would love them, but you don't kind of gotta love them. But they gave them to you because they love you, so you have to wear them. No. Oh, okay, I can feel that. That's clearing a lot of energy, JC. You are the star. Act like a star. Dress like a star. Go out and spend some clothes on some money on some new fashions for yourself. Yeah, a little bit quirky, a little bit outrageous. Yeah. Feed that star. Feed that star quality that you have. And anywhere where you've decided that you're not a sun, but you're a star. What? It's tomato, tomato. A sun, a star is a sun. Right? It's just that you're going further. You've gone further. Give yourself some credit for that. Look at what you've accomplished. Look at what you've done. Okay, Dottie. It's magic. Never believe it's not so. It's magic. Your formula for actually jumped on. Your formula for magic, Dottie, is not the same as anyone else's formula. So any societal regrets of how a woman should be, or what a woman should have done or should do, have 10 children, cook over the stove 12 hours a day. That's a real woman. Anywhere where that's been the case, are you willing to release, clear, destroy, and uncreate, and find the absolute joy in your formula for life? That's the magician. The magician has these spells, these formulas. This is absolutely creating this ability that is totally unique. Rejoice in that. That's what you came in this life to do. You've had tons of relationships, tons of children, You've been men, you've been women in previous lives. This is this lifetime. Absolutely stay in it, free of all regrets or any projections of regrets or any of that. You're actually really psychic, so I would wear some selenite. Obsidian. Obsidian is a great stone to wear for protection. Obsidian or kyanite. Kyanite's a great piece of jewelry if you can find kyanite jewelry. Yeah, this is honoring your own path and rejoicing in it. And then like having a place like in the summer where it's really cooler. It's like Vancouver. Like, yeah, I get that area where you can just rejoice in the green. Okay? All right, my dear Laurel. So it's important. You need a new headdress, Laurel. It's changing your hair up. There's something about your hair that will give you a whole new outlook on life and of yourself. So my mom was a hairdresser for years, and she knew the power of changing a hairstyle and what it did for the women. So I'm going to go back to like a little bit of JC. You guys, I really would love to have you. You know what? Ken and I should just fly out there and have a big party because Laurel, you're in Houston. Teresa, JC, I know you're in Texas. It's a big state, I know. San Antonio area, but this is changing it's changing your style. A little bit of Bette Midler. I don't know why that's coming through, but it's a tweak. There's something about your look that you want to change up that will change everything. Because the Hierophant is the knower. It's the higher knower. It's changing how you're changing how you're completely looking at yourself. And in doing that, you're washing away you know, some of my favorite shows like on YouTube or to watch are when these gem miners, they're mining these gems and they find this dirty rock. It's just like crusted with mud, and they wash it off and it's this incredible crystal. You're washing off this other stuff that's been put upon you from the mud, from these other belief systems. You've done really well, but man, now you're going into the high pressure, high wash where you're really beginning to glow. So it's important to really match that with some new clothes, with a new look, with a new hairdo.
Yeah, but her voice sounds like that.
Yeah, she goes, I just grew it all out and I'm so tempted to cut it again short. Yeah, and then you've been told 100 times that your voice sounds like her a bit. Yeah, but it's this attitude. It's like you're going to accomplish way more than what you ever thought. Just allow that. Just allow it, Laurel. All right, my dear Ashley. Trust, Ashley. Trust. Trust. But it's also things working out for you legally. It's like literally having a trust, like a legal trust. Your grandfather's really guiding you in this. Like, he's really stepping up, business-wise. Directing the business. Absolutely, he's right there. Trust that, Ashley. And your perception of him, when you feel he's around, or you smell him, or you sense him, that absolutely, no doubt, trust that he's there. It's absolutely there. He's with you. He's got a really funny sense of humor. You know how we in the earth, we light candles for those that have passed? He's lighting a candle for you, in the sense that he's energizing you. He's sending you energy. He's sending you love. He's sending you prayers and direction, but he's right there. He's literally right there. I don't know if you've been feeling him lately, but there is a tremendous amount of guidance coming in that direction. Okay, we got everybody? Dottie, we got everybody. We'll do this again Wednesday night, but I wanted to thank you all for your contributions. I know it's a new month. I really, really appreciate it. It helps us really keep the show going. And also, if you want to book private readings, just instant message me, text me, call me. I'm happy to help you out there too. If you need a little bit more insight, it was especially like what we talked about during the. I can't go into a lot of depth or a lot of time, but thank you. Great blessings to every one of you, and we'll see you Wednesday night. Love you all.